We came to Venice for romance, but found sore feet, lost alleys, water everywhere and way too many pigeons. We took tours, rode gondolas, found hidden gems and yes, beer was reviewed. Without a care, but not so after an interesting start to our entry into Venice, we've made it. We've settled into our room. We've been to the grocer. We've bought some groceries. Now it's time for dinner. We're walking the streets of Venice. Calle della Monda. Something about Madonna. And so it's been recommended we go to dinner at...
the Devil and the Angel's Water.
Devil and the Angel's Water or something like that. So that's where we're going. So we just had a lovely dinner at a little restaurant we wandered into. We were looking for a different one, but we ended up with that one. And they gave us some free limoncello, which was yummy. Now it's time for a walk. So I've just been told by a gondola man that tonight's the night to go because it's quiet. Be busy tomorrow. So, we've made it to Venice. And it's time for a beer. We haven't had lunch today. So just imagine you're sipping the beer on one of the canals in Venice. You're in Italy and each sip of the beer is like the rhythm of the gondolas sliding down the water. But it's a Peroni, so anyway, we'll wait and see. Hang on. Look, I'm not a fan of Peroni, to be honest. It's drinkable, it'll do. It's cold, it's Aussie cold, which is nice. It's got good head retention. But you're in Venice, so what are you going to do? Bit of a beer on the Grand Canal, gondolas floating around out there, fellas in black pants and white shirts, and it's time for a beer. A rating? Like I said, it's a Peroni. It's all right. 3. Give it a 3 out of 5. Cheers.
Where are you going?
So it's Monday morning, our first full day in Venice. We're off to a tour. Our navigator is struggling a bit.
There's so many alleyways.
And we've got an hour and a half.
So
we should be alright.
Right.
Here comes a Ponte Storto. Bloody bridge, mate. Someone's got an oven on it and a stove. Pretty handy for an outdoor barbecue. I hope she knows where she's taking us. This guy's off to work in the morning. Got his Google Maps happening. So what took us, well, I don't know, an hour and a half yesterday on the boat to get from that railway station we're looking at to our accommodation has taken us, I don't know, 15-minute stroll. Could have bloody walked it. These delivery boats all jockeying for positions. Ciao, Bella.
I prefer
we're gonna cross the bridge, we enter in one quiet place, and we're gonna stop for 5 minutes. I explain you this very important moments, because in this way I think it's very important to know these moments to understand better the city. You see that it's the same place, but the difference is the 3 centuries. I mean, you can see that. What do you see? that church still exists, correct? There was no bridge, no paving, no motorboats, of course, only rowing boats. And then there was beautiful church Santa Lucia. But in the middle of 19, it was Austrian government in the city. So a little bit less than 200 years ago, they built the first railway connection. You have to enjoy them from the water, with a public boat, with a gondola, with a private taxi, it doesn't matter. The most important from the water, because the main door was always a water door. Outside was possible to see private gondola. Gondoliers, they were drivers. Any palace overlooking the canal always has a back door for servants. A drawbridge and another gate and drawbridge, Christian guards. We close them inside the district. You can't imagine, but when different Jewish ethnic groups from different European countries live, you can survive, you can open something.
So apparently she's allergic to busy streets.
Since the Bible time, the Jews and Christians, they lived together in Europe. They traveled, they moved, but why they moved? Why they traveled? Because very often they were considered strange people, different people. So there were persecutions. When in the end of 15 in Spain was a time of very important persecution of Jews. Maybe you know that Spanish Queen Isabella and King Ferdinando, they conquered Spain in the end of 15, and they decided to expel all non-Christians. Even Napoleon destroyed about 18 our lagoon. We still have 137 churches. So normally we call all the squares campo. Campo, it means field, because it was a field. I'll show you another beautiful palace. The palace of the town. But now, the time ago, as I told you, each palace was a property one family. This palace, on actual floor, they were merchants, so it was a storage for goods. Beautiful central windows.
This walking tour showed us the real Venice, trying to get us far away from the crowds and souvenir stalls. We wandered through the quietish Cannareggio district, visited the beautiful church of Madonna dell'Orto, and followed canals with few tourists in sight. Our guide brought history to life, from Venetian wells to secret courtyards and noble families who shaped the city. We eventually reached Rialto Bridge. Really is quite beautiful if you can get away from the crowds, but next up there is no getting away from them. So we've made it to St Mark's, so got to go around that side.
Seagulls sitting on top of the statue's heads.
She's walked off without me, trying to find our guide for today's tour, however that's going to work.
So, have you ever been to Venice earlier before? So, keep in mind that you can come to Venice 20,000 times. Because Venice can give you a lot of opportunities. Just an open museum, just walking. Keep in mind that.
I guess I wasn't quite prepared for the scale of St Mark's Basilica and the Doge Palace, or the crowds. Inside, Renaissance art covers every wall and ceiling, including statues, together with some of Atlas and Hercules holding up the heavens. In the atrium square, golden mosaics shine like treasure, and the armour display includes full equestrian armour. Even the horse was dressed for battle. The incredible Great Council Hall has a ceiling so vast it looks impossible, and that's where Venice's big decisions were made. But one of the most haunting sights is the Bridge of Sighs. It linked the courtroom to the prison, and the prisoners would take one last look at Venice through a small window and sigh. That little view was their final moment of freedom. Okay, so we're on a gondola. So we couldn't afford this when we were here 30 odd years ago, 32 years ago.
Yeah, that's
So
it, right.
it's our gondola driver at the back, having himself a beer.
Having a drink, it's thirsty work.
No, I don't think he's in it. Got a race going on, we're in third place.
Look now, right side, right, the White Palace with the obelisk on the roof. That one is the most luxury hotel in Venice. The name is Hotel Aman, 7 stars hotel.
7 stars?
Yes, that one was the hotel of the wedding of George Clooney.
Ah!
Congratulations to George Clooney.
Yeah! Put his foot in as well.
The Church of San Luca, 500 years old.
Oh, how romantic.
Fermarsi, fa un favore.
Una casa se una mezza avvocata.
No, come fanno venire avanti, ti dimmi dei problemi.
We're being immortalised on camera.
There's a Rialto Bridge.
Yeah. Yeah. Gliding through Venice's canals, our gondolier, dressed like he'd stepped from a postcard, dodged water traffic while crowds on bridges snapped photos. We passed a statue of Daniele Menin, Venice's patriot hero, before finishing near the start point quite close to the iconic Rialto Bridge. Okay, so we've just been on a gondola ride. How nice was that? It was very romantic. I asked Kim to marry me. She said, yep. No, that doesn't matter. We've done that. So now we're at a little pub called Diablo de Corsica or something, and we're having a beer. They've only got one brand of beer. It's a forced beer, which is made in Murano apparently. So let's give it a crack. drinkable. It's a bit crisp. It's got quite a nice aftertaste actually. It's a bit bubbly, a bit spritzy. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I've not been forced to drink it. Rating. It's not really my brand of beer. It's a lager in more than a pale ale. It's still very drinkable. I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5. Cheers. Alright, so we're starting our tour of the glass blowing factories and lace and people and stuff. Thank you. So what are you making me do, Kim?
I'm making you go to the 3 islands in Venice.
Should be face tracking. Oh, this stupid thing. There we go. Oh no. Our half-day trip to Murano, Burano and Torcello came with rain, but it didn't slow us down. We watched glass blowers at work, explored lace and fabric shops, and found that even in the drizzle, these islands still shine with colour and craft. Right, we've arrived at the glass blowing factory. But everyone's having a cigarette before we go in.
Siamo alla Serene, questo è il nome della fabbrica. Abbiamo il maestro Massimiliano che ci fa vedere come lavoriamo. Come così, kein Problem, wir sind bei Ferro Lazzarini, so heißt unsere Fabrik, und Massimiliano heißt der Meister. Tradizione, diciamo, del 20, ecco, quindi la produzione abbiamo dovuto ridurlo anche negli ultimi anni per vicissitudini, Covid, crisi energetica, eccetera, eccetera, e anche per mancanza di maestri, perché i maestri giovani non ce ne sono, e il nostro il vetro è 1350, vetro viene fatta con una miscela particolare di sabbia e i colori con vari ossidi di minerale. Quindi adesso avete l'occasione di fare le foto di tradition to the next generation in the way it was in the past. You know, glass is made out of glass is made out of this composition, which is Basilica sodium potash lime. We melt it in the furnace, 1350 Celsius. During the day, the working temperature is 1100 Celsius. To make the covers, we add to this basic composition different mineral oxides, and they react in a different way. They are in their own pots in the furnace, and the result is, for instance, with cobalt oxide, blue, copper oxide, green, and then with so sorry for that. Obviously, if you buy something, you can take a photo, and then you decide to put it on web or not. But not that you take all the pictures. Das ist jetzt ein Pferd, das wird gezogen, also erstmal wurde geblasen, und jetzt ist das eine andere Technik. Das Glas wird immer so gemacht, wie es früher war, weil das ist ein Familienunternehmen. Seit 1929 wurde die Fabrik von Familie Ferro gekauft, und wir machen das. Okay, das Pferd ist noch heiß, it's very hot, don't touch. Mi piace il nostro cavallino?
So we've just had a look at some glass blowing, which was very interesting.
It's very interesting.
And then, oh, there we go. But it's just so expensive. There was a guy made a horse, prancing horse, €100. As you go down there, €12. Very interesting stuff. Well worth a look. Yeah, it still said it was made in Murano, but we didn't check. But well worth a look. So we've made it to Burano, which is where all the lace is. So we're on a trek. needless to say, she's walked into the shop that sells it by the metre, and she's all over it like a rash. So they've got about 20 different laces out, wrong hue of white, wrong hue of off-white. Now, she's found some. She's off. She's been given the word where the material's available by the metre, over near the tower, which has got a bit of a lean to it. Don't need to go to Pisa. With the pigeon, dove, bird thing.
The biggest green area of the town of the city. The island of Venice, which is the one with the fish shape, is located in the middle
So it's last beer review in Venice. Unfortunately,
AKA Italy.
What?
AKA Italy.
AKA Italy, yeah, Venice, Italy, not the USA. So this particular eatery doesn't have many beers. This is the only one on tap. It's a Moretti. I've had a few Morettis before, and it tastes like a Moretti, lagery beer. It's alright. But what else can you say about your last day in Venice? You know, there's 400 bridges here in the Venice canals, 177 canals or something. And I think we will.
Hello.
You interrupted my beer review.
Yes.
That's all right.
Yeah, thank
Don't
you.
forget to post.
Yeah, it'll be posted. Don't you worry about that. Yeah, 400 bridges, 177 canals, and then we walked all of them over the last 4 or 5 days. But back to the beer, Moretti beer. Look, 3.5 out of 5. Cheers. So we thought we'd give a taxi a crack. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, it's going there. Leaving Venice meant one last glide through its waterways, so we jumped on a water taxi, the perfect farewell. We slipped past hidden canals and under the Rialto Bridge, knowing it will be the last time we'd see this iconic arch. Venice left its mark, gondoliers, doges and the quiet corners away from the crowds. But our wandering continues. Our next stop is Budapest, bags packed, camera ready and a flight waiting to carry us onward. And that's our Venice story wrapped. Next, we arrive in Budapest, sightseeing through its grand avenues, riding the old funicular, studying maps as we explore, crossing iconic bridges, admiring the architecture, and pausing at the powerful shoes on the Danube. From there, we finally step aboard our riverboat, ready for the journey all the way to Amsterdam. Join us for the adventure, hit subscribe, give this video the thumbs up, and thanks for watching the Not So Grey Wanderers.